Okay, so there's an auto stop on it, but let me see if it. All right, so I didn't change the description. Um, I'm probably going to add more to that description. Okay. Let me get y'all's books back up here. All right. So that first 18 minutes, I just deleted it because it wasn't really nothing. I had to correct that. I had to correct that thumbnail that was up there. All right. So we are in chapter 3. Okay, I'm gonna put that up real quick. We're in chapter 3. As you can see, I'm doing a whole lot. But we were having conversation about different types of businesses that we wanted to kind of do, and a couple of my girlfriends have businesses that they're doing. And one of my girlfriends, she pretty much wants to be a builder or something, which I think is cool. I mean, if the guys can do it, the women can do it too. Okay. Um, so some of you who do join my class, you make sure you look at your syllabus so you can know what is in the classroom and what we're going to be doing in the classroom. Okay. Uh, this is some of my index cards, and I just kind of pull this out. Can you see this? Oh, it's green. Not that one. Wait a minute. So green don't show? No. Oh wow, that's crazy. So this is one of the index cards. Okay, and I use different color index cards, and I just kind of pulled out some old cards that I had. Three types of anesthesia: general, loss consciousness; regional, loss of sensation; uh, MAC, patient is slightly sedated. This is how you're going to study. You're going to have your index cards, okay? And you're also going to have this. These are stickies that you're going to put in your book so you can follow what page you're going to be on. Okay, so let me put the website up here. I know I had so much on there. I know y'all saw my thing, right? I don't care. Y'all know I don't let nobody walk all over me. Okay, so shout out. Let me before I even start. Shout out to all of the federal workers um, who have been furloughed or laid off. I have to shout out to y'all, or resigned, and just straight retired because y'all probably tired of the Bugatti. Um, just keep it moving. You know, don't sit and look at the four walls as to what's going on, because things will only get better. Things will only get better for you. Okay, I know some people who are they actually don't even care. They don't care about the furloughs. Go to my website, but they don't care about what's going on because they already got money. They already doing their thing. But I think you should still have consideration for some of your other coworkers and not kind of gloat about how well off you are. Which I mean, it's okay, it's okay. But when you start hearing that, it's like, wow, and you almost be like, so they feel like they're better than everybody else. They all do the same thing. I'm not like that. I don't look at people like that. Everybody's saying, you work someplace. You shouldn't look down on your coworkers because, you know, silly stuff like that. You know, I've never heard of it like that. I mean, I have recently, and it's just, you know, it just gets you thinking like, wow. You know, you be looking at these people talking about, I didn't know they thought like that. But shout out to the furloughs. Well, how do you say it? The furloughees, the whatever. You know, shout out to them. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. So again, epi above, peri around. I'm just looking at these because these are some of the index cards that I've seen, that you know I keep myself. You know, sometimes I have them in the classroom, and that's how I tell y'all to pretty much, you know, start studying by. So here we are right here, okay, and right here is where we should be in the book. All right, and I do see a lot of you are archiving the class, which I think is good. And you're archiving other stuff as well. Okay, you're archiving other stuff as well. Yeah, I think you should look at some of the other stuff before you actually get to, let's say, 11. Maybe you need to do 10. But again, in this book, I'll take it down. In this book, we are up to. Now let me just backtrack. We did the guidelines, right? We did first listed diagnosis. We actually started on the unconfirmed diagnosis, and we're doing outpatient, and additional diagnosis will probably be today. Now, in this book, there's a lot of stuff in this book that you should be going over. When you come across um, when you come across any type of codes, just try to do them. Try to go into your ICD-10. Let me pull up my ICD-10 book. Pull up your ICD-10 book and try to do some of those codes. Now, you could always go back to some of the stuff that we actually did. These are the signs and symbols. If you forgot, you can actually go back to it. Okay, you can go back to your signs and symptoms. Okay, um, that's the signs and symptoms. But we haven't gotten up to that yet, but we're getting ready. Symbols and conventions. So there's a lot in this book, I know, but this is what you need to master. As you read this book, the NOS, the bold type, excludes one, excludes two, includes. Once you start getting used to what these terms mean, yeah, if you don't have it, if you don't have it, go to Kindle and get the free version. I'm gonna put it up right now. Um, so I got a couple. Some of y'all who are in the classroom that haven't been in the classroom before, I'm gonna give you guys that Kindle. And yeah, you have to have the Kindle download. You have to have the Kindle download, okay, in order for you to get it. But that's nothing that you pay for. You go to Amazon and you can download that thing right off the back, okay? No, that's it right here. That's it right there. Okay. And you can also get the step by step book. So I'm just going to step by step book, okay? That's your coding book, okay? That's what step by step. So you need that with your ICD-10 book. So um let me get back in there. Your ICD-10 book should be out as you're doing your step by step, which is how you actually learn how to code. Okay, that's how you learn how to code. Your introduction, if you need to go back over your introduction, which is in your part one, no problem. Go ahead. And as you can see, Sapphire Academy, I'm talking to Sapphire Academy students. Your all of these videos we already have. You can either go through the academy or you can just kind of go through. You can go through YouTube to get them. Okay. But if you need to go back over introduction, go back over introduction. We're already in our 11th class. Wow, right? A lot of classes. But again, if you need to go back over those, go back over those. Okay. Don't forget your sections. I'm gonna pull up your sections real quick just to kind of, you know, make sure that you don't fall off track with it. Okay, because in order for you to get used to doing the diagnosis, you have got to know your guidelines. All right, and we're just backtracking. In chapter 3, you just have all this in here, and we're just kind of backtracking on your sections and what you need to do. Okay, in the ICD-10. So the step by step is your medical coding book. That's your go-to guide. Okay, so let's go. Unconfirmed diagnosis. Okay, it may take several encounters before the diagnosis is confirmed. Remember we talked about that? In these instances, report the symptoms or signs that occasioned the encounter. Occasioned as in when the patient arrived at the facility. Occasioned as in when it happened to the patient. Okay? And then we did, I'm on page 48, 2 or more visits before a diagnosis is confirmed. Your initial office visit. Okay? 30-year-old woman complains of fatigue, abnormal weight gain, and constipation. Okay, now these codes again, the codes that you see here, even though these are examples and they're giving you a couple of questions, um, I'm right here. So again, you remember I want you guys to go ahead and look those up. Okay, go ahead and look those codes up, and I want you to look them up because they're getting you used to they're getting you used to your diagnosis. Can I move this? You know why? Because I'm cutting this off. So I just want to kind of move me up a little bit. Okay, so can you guys see that? I want to make sure you guys can see what class we're in. That's why I kind of moved that over. So, and then when I put up, you guys don't need to see me on there. So in your diagnosis, if you guys can go right here, these codes that are in here, I'll definitely want you to go ahead and look them up, all right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 examples. Okay, and then there's also 1, 2, 3. There's 3 examples, and then there's 4 questions. So you guys go ahead and do those. So let's go ahead and move on to outpatient surgery. Now we did do a little outpatient surgery yesterday. How many of you actually work in hospital? I don't like it up there. That's why. How many of you? How many of you actually work in a hospital? It don't have to be a hospital. How many of you work in a facility? Tell me what you see there. Tell me what you see in the facility that you work at. Do you see new patients? You see old patients as in patients who are already established patients. What do you see the majority of? And because of the tariffs and everything that's going on, the layoffs that's going on, it's endless. I don't know what else to tell you. What else is going on? What's going on at your clinic? What's going on at your facility? Uh, is there a slowdown in patients? Because I was kind of wondering that if will the patients just not be seen if a patient needs to come or a person needs to come to the facility and they need to be seen. Are they afraid to go because they will get a big bill? I mean, if you're used to getting like 200 and 300 patients a day and now you're probably getting 50, do you think it is because of what's going on now? uh, and tell me if anybody has been laid off. Or, well, hospitals wouldn't be federal unless it was a VA. But because of all these other layoffs, I mean, ain't they laying off in different areas too? They laying off in it don't have to be just federal. People are getting laid off left and right. So I was trying to see if how much is affecting the facilities. Um, I didn't see much change. I went to Trinity the other day. I didn't see much change. Um, I mean, people are still coming in. They have to, see about their health. Trying to make this bigger. So you guys let me know. See if you guys seeing any change, going around. Okay, so outpatient surgery. And you don't have to be outpatient, ambulatory. See what's going on. Urgent care. Nearly y'all working in urgent care. It doesn't have to be, you being a coder, you being a biller, you working at the first port. That's fine. Okay, so outpatient surgery we started doing, and I told you guys about the section 4A1. You guys were looking for that yesterday, right? When a patient present for outpatient surgery, same day surgery code the reason for the surgery as the first listed diagnosis. And yesterday we went through how you're going to, it wasn't yesterday, but the other day we went through how you're going to find that, right? Oh, is that what this was? I didn't know what that was moving down there. I know I got so much things open here. As you can see, I'm still trying to get like savvy with this thing. And this is not here just for you to kind of take a look at it. It's actually here to keep you in the right place, because you probably can't even see this that I'll be putting up here anyway. It's just kind of me just letting you know that everybody should be on a certain page, okay? Because I know you can't see it. Because if I put this on, like when I look at these things again, and I might look at it on my phone, on my iPad, or something like that, or even I can't see it unless I'm on the laptop, and then I'll spread it out and make it bigger. Okay, so in the ICD-10 book, the other day we went through the sections, and I'm just going to show you where those sections are. Hopefully this thing is right. I don't have to move it again, because I moved it and messed it up, and now it's all over the place now. This is the ICD-10, and this is the sections. So they want you to go to section 4, and they just want you to pretty much find that area, this area right here, the outpatient surgery, which we did already. I'm just kind of backtracking just to get you guys, back on track. Outpatient surgery, patients with a history of asthma present for an outpatient TNA due to chronic tonsillitis. First listed diagnosis is, go look for this, even though I'm giving you the answer, J35.01, chronic tonsillitis. Okay, so I'm on page 49. You guys should be on the same page. Okay, so they also give you these exercises in here. And because we are on, outpatient surgery, some of you might be working the front end, some of you might be medical assistants or something like that. In outpatient surgery, your patient is pretty much coming in the morning. By 1 o'clock, she's probably ready to go home. Okay, it's almost like ambulatory surgery. Okay, identify the first listed diagnosis. Now, I'm on page 49. There are exercises in here, and like they said, they are at the back of the book that you can actually go ahead and get them. Okay, now remember, it might be odd or even. Okay, so this is where I'm at right here, and I want you guys to see if you can, get on that same page, so everybody is together. Now, if you're archiving this, it's not a problem. Just get the answer from the back of the book. If you want to check yourself, go ahead and get the answers at the back of the book. Okay, any answer that you want and it's not in there, just DB me and I'll give it to you. Now, when you get to outpatient surgery, in your workbook, there are codes in there. Now, you can start doing your workbook today. On your 29th question, there's stuff in there for outpatient. I'm on page 14. So you guys can go ahead and get those codes, okay? And there's going to be a lot in there. So you're going to start from the beginning. I'm trying to get it back to the beginning. Hold on, y'all. Why isn't it going back to the beginning? All right. So this is where I am. So this is what you should be working on. Okay, because remember I said a couple of days ago, don't work on that, right? I said to just wait before you actually start working on that. So I'm on page 9, okay? Before I even get to the next section, I want you guys to start working on this. So when we finish with this class, tonight when you guys get off from work, you guys can go ahead and start this. External cause codes are located in the alphabetic index for diseases under external causes. And you remember we talking about external causes. External causes, as in you get hit by a car, fire, or anything that you get as far as external, not internal, not heart attack, not asthma, an external issue. So page 10, you got true or false on page 10. Okay, you got your true or false on page 10. You got your practical on page 11. Okay, your practical as in, you're still giving a diagnosis. They just want you to write it in, and then you're going to give a diagnosis. All right, page 12, same thing, your practical. So you have a lot of those, and it's just giving you practice. That's all. It's giving you practice, and that looks like what this full chapter is actually about. So in your exercise book, there are a lot of exercises in there. Remember how you find the code. You just reverse the code and then you find it. You remember we talking about acute pain, acute, find pain, and then find how bad is the pain, or how often does it come. Chronic pain. In your ICD-10 book, use your tabs if you need to. If you haven't already tabbed your book, go ahead and tab your book. If you got your coding books already, go ahead and tab your book. And the tabs are there so that you can flip to the page that you need very quickly. Okay. And don't forget, I'm going to I have to make these private at some point. Not yet, but I will be making them private. But I want you guys to make sure that you get everything that you can out of it before I do make it private. You're going to have to sign up for Sapphire Academy to get the rest. Because this is such a long class, I'm going to try to make it 20. But it's not going to be 20 classes. It's going to be much more than that. This class might be about 30 classes. This class will not be finished until December. Okay, so you guys are going to have a long class in this. Now, if you're working independently, and you're moving faster than we are, you're going to be doing quicker. I know. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that. All right. So, okay, so let's move on. So again, your exercises in your 3. I want you guys to go ahead and do that. Okay? Now I'm back in the workbook. So in the workbook, we just finished with the outpatient surgery, and it's just giving you, what outpatient surgery is, and some of the diagnoses that you may see in outpatient surgery. K40.90 inguinal hernia. And when you look for that, just make believe you don't even have the code. Go to hernia, and then inguinal. Go to hernia, and then inguinal. So I'm going to wait 2 seconds for y'all to go ahead and go through that. Yeah, I know y'all was looking for me yesterday. Yesterday probably would have been better. A lot of y'all would have been coming in because yesterday was a holiday. Okay, so I'm going to the alphabetic index. What's the alphabetic index, y'all? Index to diseases and injuries, right? And when you go to the index to diseases and injuries, that's how you're going to find your code, right? Whether it's right or wrong, this is just getting you used to going through this book. And remember what they said about the bold writing and about the writing that's indented once, indented twice. Just, if you forget, all you're going to do is just go back over your book. Okay, go back over your book. Go back over your guidelines. Now, when you're using one of these books, when you're using the ebook, you'll be flicking forever. You know, when you use a regular book and you're trying to head and get to that code, you can just go ahead and get to it. Um, I'm telling you that from experience right now. When I get ready to start flicking, I have to go through a lot of pages. But like I said, that's what you're going to look for. You guys go ahead and find that through your book. I don't have my hard copy book in front of me, but that's the way I want you guys to do it. Let me see this. One time before it was real low. Okay. So again, like I said, any diagnosis that you see in here, I want you to look up. Outpatient surgery has that has been canceled. Patient presented for a right inguinal hernia repair. Okay, following assessment of patient. So you guys go ahead and finish with that. The ending story of that was that the procedure was not carried out due to other contraindication. Now, it's his first listed diagnosis would have been the K40.90, but also followed by the Z53.09 procedure not carried out. So they were going to do it, but they didn't carry it out. Okay, so you see how the guidelines that are even in the step-by-step book, I'm trying to put me up, the guidelines that are in the step-by-step book, they tell a story. So they're putting you in predicaments at the facility so that you know how to code it. So how many of you thought that there would be a code even if the surgery was canceled? So, you know, like, how can there be a code if surgery was canceled? How can it be coded if it's not a surgery? It was a presumed surgery, but it was a canceled surgery. So you guys look at that code, the code I'm telling you to look at. Just go take a look at it. Did I lose the code? Hold on. Z53.09. Go take a look at that code, okay? Go take a look at that code. It's outpatient surgery. That's what we're looking at. And if you guys need to read your guidelines on that, don't forget, go to section 4, period A, period 1. You're going to see outpatient. Okay? If you get stuck and you need to go over that, okay? So the first example is outpatient surgery. Okay? And the other one is outpatient surgery that has been canceled. That has been canceled. And like I said, the hardest thing that you're going to do is take your tests and learn how to do the coding. That's the hardest thing that you're going to do. Learn how to do the coding. When you get out there, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Because some of you send me emails and some of you just want to give up. Don't do it. You know how you conquer that? Do a little bit at a time. Tell you, I used to feel like that too. But then you have that determination of what you're going to do. You're going to learn in this classroom. You're going to do what you have to do. You're going to go step by step and you're going to learn this. Okay? Even me, you think I remember all this stuff from me actually doing it to actually teaching it? You know what I'm saying? It's different. The only time I go in and do it is if a doctor calls me, he's just specifically calling me, or I have to go in and clean up something for a provider. I'm not sitting here coding every day. So, in the same way how you have to be reinfested, same thing I have to be reinfested. You have to be, okay, let me remember this, let me remember that. So, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged, okay? Coding, anybody can do it. Okay, I don't want you guys getting discouraged with the coding. Okay, so the outpatient surgery. Like I said, if you get stuck, I'm gonna put it up right now. I'm pulling it up right now, cause I don't want y'all to get stuck. So I'm going to introduction, and then in my book I'm going to introduction. So I'm right here. I'm going to introduction. Remember I said CMS. It's in that link below. You also can get that CMS 2025 also online. All right. So hold on. Excuse me, y'all. It's below, but I'm just trying to find it where I put it up here. I think I added it. All right, I don't see it right there. I'm gonna put it on the side. I must have. I don't know why I don't see it there. All right, I'm gonna put it right here. It's 2025. 2025 guideline. Okay, so when you get ready to put it up, it's gonna be something like that. Okay, it's gonna be something like that. So I'm gonna just put that right there. But again, you can still look at your own book. You know, your guidelines is there in here. You know, I'm just gonna kind of scroll down. Make sure you go over this. Read it several times. Um, Read it several times. I'm going to Zoom. I'm going to Zoom after this in Sapphire Academy, and we're gonna just read this completely. I want you guys to go over this just like it is second nature. But I'm just to show you the sections. Remember the sections. So we go here. So I'm looking for section 4, right? My glasses are driving me nuts. We're looking for section 4. Just keep going down. See, it's kind of redundant when you just the ebook is, I got to do it like this. But I'm doing this to show you guys where you're going to get at. All right. Let me see if I can just come on down. It's taking me through all the chapters. That's why the chapters, and it's taking me through the guidelines, and it's taking me a minute. But you guys know we did it the other day. I want you guys to make sure you do it. Okay, just look for that section 4, period A, period 1, XYZ. But again, that's how the ebooks are. Okay, so that's your gusto. Your ebooks. I love the ebooks. I love the ebooks better than the hard copy. I'm telling you. But when you have to keep scrolling through, it's a pain in the shank. But you get to where you have to go. See, that's 20 external diseases causes of morbidity. Look, read this right here. Let this be a part of your homework. You don't have to stop and do it right now. We're just kind of putting you like in the right place. But those sections, I also want you to get to those sections. Okay, and don't go to table neoplasm, table of drugs, terminal causes. We're not doing any of that right now. We're in the beginning, and we're just kind of taking it easy. Okay. So again, in your step-by-step book, outpatient surgery, I want you to take heed to. Now you could also, go to YTU, go to YouTube, and type in outpatient surgery, and it might show a little skit about some type of outpatient surgery. Um, Let me see. Maybe I can do something like that. I want to see if something pops up in there. I know I'll be messing around in this next thing y'all don't saw all my files that I even got it in right. I know I try not to have nothing that's so what we looking for again, y'all? We looking for our outpatient surgery. I hope it's a good link because I'm gonna put it up for y'all. I hope it's a good. Oh, thank you. It's a wonderful link. Oh my God. Listen, let me tell you something. YouTube I don't know how YouTube started. I don't know who created this thing. But YouTube is amazing. YouTube is amazing. And the reason why let me put this on. The reason why I put this up is because look at this. This YouTube. YouTube is amazing. I tell you every time I think about it, because you guys know I wasn't a social YouTube. Well, my grandson he got me into this YouTube, but I can go to YouTube and find anything I want. Okay. This one is from Duke University. I'm not going to show any of the videos because I don't know if you can hit it. I don't know if I can put any of anyone's videos up here. I don't know if I can do that, but look how YouTube has all these things in here, and I want you to go over this outpatient surgery, so you can get a feel of what it's like to be in outpatient surgery. I know you probably maybe you. I'm not saying you guys never went there before. You don't know what's going on, but when you put yourself in a predicament of the patient, you code better. You can code better. Just like if you put yourself in a predicament of the provider, you code better. Medical City Healthcare outpatient surgery. So this is the good thing about um this one. This one I like, the OBS one. The OBS one I can stream for hours. I can stream for hours on the OBS one. The other one I can't stream for hours. The hours are actually limited. I gotta find out how many hours I can actually do on the OBS. But I want to see. I don't have it up right. You know what I could do? I like the Duke one. I like the Duke one only because that's my North Carolina hospital.
Arrive on time. During this phone call, we will confirm.
All right, so we ain't trying to do that. Okay, you guys can hear that. The only thing I want from this is I just wanted the link. Okay, so the only thing I wanted from that was actually the link. There you go. Okay, so the link that I just put up there, I think is very helpful, and it actually puts you guys in that medical facility, especially some of you who have not worked in a facility before. Uh, Find something on YouTube, just like with the bariatric. Find a bariatric surgery. I don't know if I can put it up. I'm not gonna put it up. I don't know how much I can do with other people's stuff, so I try not to touch other people's videos. Um, I do use John Q. You know, I always use John Q as one of my references. Um, I try to do less than 20 seconds so they don't flag me, or less than 30 seconds, but sometimes it don't work. But if I put too much stuff up here and they shank my YouTube, I will keep my hopefully I have my videos. Y'all go ahead and look at them. Okay, but that's what I want y'all to do. Okay, go on YouTube. YouTube is your go-to guide. Do not sleep on YouTube. That's why there's no way that you would have to need a student loan for this. And let me tell you something, that a lot of people ask me, directors and whatever, they want me to teach their students. I've never agreed to do it because the students that they have are paying student loans. And my concept for making my own program was so that the students would not have to get a student loan. So it's kind of difficult for me to teach a class that I don't believe in the student loans, that I'm aided and abetted in the student loan. So it's very difficult for me to do that. So that's why I don't teach at a school anymore. Um, I still work at hospitals and different things. Y'all know I work periodically at different facilities, but at the teaching, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to go to your school and teach your students because it would be against what I'm teaching. And I'm not saying against the coding, it would be against, my rules of teaching as far as the medical billing and the coding. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so outpatient surgery. Okay, and technically we need about 8 hours straight to do the guidelines, but outpatient surgery we're still on, and I want you guys to make sure that you study. Okay, when a patient present for outpatient surgery, the reason for the surgery should be reported as the first listed diagnosis. When you guys get to these questions like this, and this is like for homework, I don't want you guys to do it right now, but when you see these exercises that have codes, I want you to go ahead and look for those codes. Okay, but these outpatient surgery exercises, you guys can go ahead and do those. Anybody know the answer to that first one? When a patient present for outpatient surgery, the reason for the surgery should be reported first listed diagnosis. The reason for the surgery what's the first thing that the patient came in for? Patient might have came in for something else. The reason for the surgery is not the first listed diagnosis, because by the time the patient is ready to have surgery, the doctor already pinpointed what's wrong with the patient, right? Okay, good. Okay, here's another one. Identify the first listed diagnosis in the following. On page 49, a female patient was admitted as an outpatient for elective bilateral tubal ligation. Now, this is a good one. I'm going to put this up real quick. This is the reason why, you see this question right here. This is the reason why we do language of medicine. Because you need to be familiar with these type of terms. And this is why I ask you to go through the step-by-step book, page by page. Because you're not going to know what all the surgeries are. Depending on what specialty you work in, you're going to start being succumbed to remembering what those surgeries is. You might work different specialty. Look at that. You might work different specialty and start to, kind of learn all of them. That's what these is for. Learn all of them. But you start mastering them when you start seeing them over and over and over. Elective bilateral tubal ligation. Now, if I go to YouTube, I'm typing that in. Elective bilateral tubal ligation. So, YouTube always has something. Oh my God. I told y'all. I can't put this one up. I must have looked at that one. Some of them I see little red on. I must have looked at it. I want to see if how can I get you this link right here. Let me see. How do you get the link? You go share. Amazing. I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna show y'all this. I'm gonna also put this link up there. I don't know who thought of YouTube is genius. I'm telling you right now, it's genius. Us as instructors, do you know how much this helps you in the classroom when you see stuff like this and you're using the YouTube? Because we have to order this stuff. We have to order. If I wanted something like that to show you in my classroom, we used to have to order stuff like that, or I have to buy a video like that. I put that video over there just to kind of give you an idea of how the surgeon does a tubal ligation. And now we don't have to do that no more. I can just type it in here and I put it here, just like how you see this right here. I would have this on a bigger type of screen. Okay. When I actually get back to my regular office, you guys know I don't really use this. I'm using this because I'm still on the road, so that's why I'm still using this. But YouTube is, let me tell you something. YouTube is as amazing as Amazon. I'm telling you, ain't nobody short of genius that did the Amazon thing. I ain't supporting it, what do you call it, sponsor or anything like that. But I'm just saying, and you as somebody who is learning a new skill, you have to take that same geniusness that they do. This is another good one right here. Oh, I never heard of that one before. I know. See, once I start looking at YouTube and certain things, I get into it too. But use YouTube to help you through your class. Use it to help. I tell my same students the same thing. Even though you guys are YTU, my students, they should be looking at these same videos. But everybody should get something out of YouTube. Even if you were going to a regular school, which is still wonderful, and you have to do projects, and you have to do summaries, you have to do essays and things like that. 3,000 words, 10,000 words. You can get a lot of information from YouTube to also help you. Okay, so I know I get thrown off, but I'm taking some of what's in your step-by-step book and give you an idea of how you can learn more. Okay. Okay, hold on. All right, so that's outpatient diagnosis, y'all. Now we're going to additional diagnosis. Now, don't forget, you're still going to start doing you're going to start doing your step-by-step book. Okay, so you can start doing your exercises, and I'm trying to clear this up. You're going to start doing your exercises in your step-by-step book. I don't know why. Okay, it's gone. In your step-by-step book. The OBS is a lot different than my StreamYard that I use, so it's so much that like I can move around and change stuff in StreamYard that I can't do in OBS. Like you see how I'm trying to change stuff and move stuff around and put new thumbnails and things like I can do that in StreamYard. You guys won't see me doing anything. In OBS, I gotta be careful. Next thing y'all done seen all my files and all my crap that I keep in my folders. So in StreamYard, I can do that in the back scenes, and y'all won't see me doing any of that. So, that's one of the things I have to be precarious about when I'm doing this. So, we didn't actually start 18 minutes later. I actually deleted that video. I deleted that video and I started this one again. Okay, so again, we just finished with outpatient surgery and unconfirmed diagnosis. Now, don't forget the unconfirmed diagnosis. The doctor has not given a definitive diagnosis. If you get stuck, you always can go back to your guidelines. This class is going to continue in Sapphire Academy. I'm going to put this one in there, and then I'm going to do a Zoom in there. Those videos, I used to load videos in here, but now I've gotten so that I've started doing them on the live. I don't even do them no more. I just kind of do the live, because you guys seem to like the live better. Um, but you still, can have an opportunity to look at those. Just go to the Sapphire Academy website, and you guys can get those out of there. And don't forget, in the website, I have all of these cards and things in there. Okay, so anything you need is actually in there. Okay, so additional diagnosis. We're gonna go on additional diagnosis, but do not forget, your step by step has several first holistic diagnosis questions. Okay, outpatient surgery questions. Okay, and in the outpatient surgery questions, they want you to list the first listed diagnosis. Okay, now we just went over the first listed diagnosis and how you're going to do it. Okay, I'm gonna pop this up because maybe you guys. Now, I don't know how many of you either have or don't have your workbook. Okay, your workbook is the gist of this class. Your exercises come from this workbook. The Sapphire Academy, you guys have exercises there as well. Okay, you guys have exercises there as well. But those of you who are on YouTube, this is the only way I can think of giving you those exercises. Okay, let me show y'all what the Sapphire Academy actually looks like. So some of this is a class that we did the other day, right? We did this the other day. So these classes are actually put into the Sapphire Academy. So this is a Sapphire Teams portal. So when the Sapphire Academy goes in, they don't have to look through the playlist or anything like that. They can just pretty much click on that and get you all right to the classes. Okay. There are same thing, different classes in here. You got medical terminology, medical billing, and you got your coding class. And then these other classes are in there. These are the main files that the students actually go through to help them with the class. The competencies are also in there as well. So again, once you guys join the Sapphire Academy, they're in there as well. I gave some of you guys a grant code to do Sapphire Academy, and don't forget, you guys got the book. I gave you guys the Q&A book. I can put that on the side here for you. So that's my gift to YouTube, to the YouTube students. You guys can have the Q&A book. This book is normally $30 on Amazon, And I like to try to give you guys something, especially YouTube. And for the YouTube students, the course is you guys got a $59 tool in there that I still put in there. So when you go to the description, those of you who YouTube, you guys can click on that and just pay the $59 and you can have the full course. You do need Sapphire email to get in there. Okay, so students will be assigned Sapphire email. Okay, so once you join Sapphire Academy, you get Sapphire email. But it's almost like YouTube. You can pretty much get into the Sapphire Academy anytime you want to. As far as the discussion board in Sapphire Academy is pretty much you can reach me whenever you want to, whenever you need to send me a message. If you send me a message, just for Sapphire students as well, when you guys send me a message from the discussion board, there's a message in there. I don't know what it is. When you guys send me a message through the discussion board, I get it in email. So whether I'm on or not, I haven't seen Valerie in a while. Let me just shout out to Valerie real quick. So yeah, when you guys do Sapphire Academy, you can always kind of shout out through me through there. I know I'm one with you guys, but I'm just kind of shouting out to a couple of people I have not seen. Uh, so Kiana, I don't know if you're on Kiana. I know you're probably going to archive this. I'm not sure why I don't see you in here, Kiana, but send me a DB Kiana so we can see where you at too. All right. And if anybody's having any issues trying to get in, let me know. Okay. But again, YouTube, same thing for you. Just use that code that you guys got in there, and that's a $59 promo to get into all the classes. The language of medicine book you guys can also get in on the language of medicine, and you can go ahead and get that book from there. Okay. So you have to do medical terminology before you even get into the coding. All right, and that's because you have to be abreast on some of this that we're learning. Um, okay, so where are we at? We're outpatient. We just finished outpatient, and we're going to additional diagnosis. So I'm just gonna go. I wanted to go back here. I wanted to start here because I wanted to show you guys where we're at, which we did, earlier, and just to show you how big this subject is. Chapter 3 is very long, and this is why we have to break it up. Okay, can we split this so they can see this? They can't see this thing. All right, and you probably still can't see it, but I'll just put it up a little bit. Um, so you can see the guidelines, first listed diagnosis, which we went over earlier. I'm just trying to show you unconfirmed diagnosis, additional diagnosis. We're getting ready to do additional diagnosis, and we're going to try to hit up the Z codes while we are in here. Okay, so again, you guys see how important it is for you to have your book, whether you are following with me or you are home with your book. Okay, um, let me just see what you. All right. And now I'm just gonna kind of go back down, and it's also right here. It also shows you your learning objective. We do the same thing in the Sapphire Academy. It also shows you, your learning objective and what you should be learning in this portion of your class. Identify first listed diagnosis. Define assigned codes for unconfirmed diagnosis. This is your learning objectives for this class. I'm just bumping in before we get to the next segment. Describe code assignments, outline assignment diagnoses, describe your Z code. Remember I told you guys about the Z codes. The Z codes. If you go to your guidelines, you will see more about the Z codes. The Z codes are more your medicine, your primary care codes, your yearly codes, observation stay, deleted the differences between the first listed and coexisting conditions. We haven't gotten down there yet, but you guys can go to page 45 and just kind of see what we're looking at right there. Here is also, I'm going to take this off. Here is also elsevier.com. You also can get your book from there. I'm going to put that link on the side. That link is also in the description in case you also want to go there and get your book. Okay? It's also in the bottom of the description in case you want to go there and get your book. Elsevier.com is actually where I get all of my books from. Some of the 2026 books are actually out, so I do have to go ahead and order some of those. But I'm telling you right now, they ain't gonna be much different than these right here. So y'all don't get scary. Okay, it ain't gonna be that much different. Cause I know here go Miss Lambert talking about another book, and she already gave us the other books. I know it's terrible. But again, the most thing that you're going to pay for in this class is a book. And that's why I be trying to make these books, let you know that you can get these books one at a time. Don't try to get the books all at one time. That's going to be kind of hard for you to do. Okay, so I don't want you guys to try to do that. Okay. And don't forget, like I said, don't forget those ebooks that you can get from Kindle. I'm going to check and see. Let's check and see if Kindle has. I'm not sure if Kindle has the step-by-step book. I think they do though. Cause I know I got it in my library because I always give it to you. Well, I don't know about YTU. This is the first year I'm doing YTU, so um, maybe. But let's find out. So if like I said, you still can go to um, what's that one that I give y'all? You can go to anyone, and then you can go to anyone and get a used book. You don't have to get a new one. Now I'm not saying to get a used book for your test. I would prefer that you guys have a new book when you get ready to get your test. Okay. Make sure I always have trouble finding this thing. I'm telling you, I don't know where it is. Just make sure that when you get ready to take your test, you do have a new book. Okay, make sure you have a new book. And the reason why I wanted to make sure you guys have a new book is because I will make sure you got new codes. If there are any codes that's changed, if there's any code that has been updated, I want you to make sure that you have the correct book. Okay, with the updates. Now we're just kind of training. Some of the guidelines are the same, but they may have a little bit of tweaks and tracks. But just make sure that you have a book. If you have like 2022, 23 books like that, you still are able to learn from those books. You still are able to learn from those books. Okay. Let me just go in here. Kindle Limited. And those of you who are all right, those of you who are in the classroom, um, I think I also have links in there as well, guys. Um, Let me see if I can give you guys another link. Hold on. So we've never actually went through this one. So let's go through this one. I don't think we ever went through this one. So they got the 2025, and the Kindle price is $81.59. The Kindle price is $81.59. So let me just see. Let me see how much of the that's a lot. All right, so this looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna show y'all what this is. So when I go on and I'm trying to find to see if they have other books, which I think I had all of them in there. And I think this one is a 2025. I'm not sure, but this one, not this one. Why that's popping up? Okay, hold on, y'all. Oh, what was that? Oh, this is just a news one. So I don't know, for some reason I can't get it in here. I'm not sure why. I don't know. So, well, anyway, the Kindle also has it. I'm gonna give you guys a link. That's the link. All right. Let me put the link in your descriptions first. When I be putting the descriptions down here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the description down here, and I'm gonna put the step by step link. Let's put it in here first, because that way when I'm loading this, when I always put the description in there, I know that it's gonna always come up. So let's do that one, and then 2025. Okay, so that's the 2025 one. It's 81. All right. So I guess they didn't have the 2025. I'm not sure, but I'm pulling up a 2023 workbook. Um, it should be the same in the front. The Kindle price for the 2023 workbook is, it looked like it was like $30 or $29 or something like that. So I'm still gonna put this one in here. Let me take this down. I'm still gonna put this one in here because that's the first one that popped up. So that's the one that I'm gonna put in here, and I'm gonna put it right here. All right, can you get out of here? All right, so I'm gonna put it right below, and I'm gonna put step by step workbook 2023. Erica, you have, I think, the 2022. You told me. If it's anything different, let me know. Let me know if you see anything different. It should be the same stuff. I mean, if even if it's like updated a little bit. All right. So did I put it up there, y'all? Okay. So here it is. And this is for the step by step. It does give you a couple of extra, extra I can't. Extra pages in there. I'm not sure why that's down there. It does give you a couple of extra pages in here. So this is the link for the step by step. All right, and this is the other link for the workbook. I'm gonna put both of them up here, in case you guys don't have your books. Copy. The only book that you can download from Sapphire Academy is your language of medicine. It's the language of medicine book. I have the rights to that book. So you guys can get that book from there. The new ones, no. Okay, you have to purchase that. All right, because basically in your class, the class is $400 actually comes with it. Unless I have like a grant or something, I can give you that promo off because they've already paid for your classes already. Okay. So I'm just trying to see, but maybe I can get into it from here. I'm just trying to figure out why can I get into it from over here and I can't get it over here. But initially just go through the Kindle and you guys can get the book. Okay, so here we are. We're still in this step-by-step book, and we're pretty much just going over the first portion. Okay, we're done with first listic diagnosis, and we're also done with unconfirmed diagnosis. All right, outpatient surgery. We also did outpatient surgery, so we went over outpatient surgery as well. There are exercises for outpatient surgery that you're going to do. Now you're also going to start doing your go ahead and do your exercises because we're not due back for class until Friday. Okay. We're not due back for class until Friday. And again, if you guys want to join the Sapphire Academy, go ahead. Go get my website. You guys go ahead in there, and there's a promo on there on this description for you guys. Okay. So another thing I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you. Well, we went through this, but I'm gonna show you again. The list of illustrations. I'm just gonna pop this up, and the importance of the illustrations. That's the YouTube thing. I don't know why I keep popping up. The importance of the illustrations that are on here. Hold on. I wonder why the YouTube thing keeps popping up. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why that YouTube thing keeps popping up. Here. I'm trying to get you back to y'all's classes, aren't you? Look at the YouTube thing. Well, we did the YouTube thing. We don't have to be in the YouTube thing no more. There's your classes. Here's here. Did you hear news about little Kevin? I'm sorry, y'all. That's my nephew. I haven't seen him in Lord knows when. Well, I did see him not too long ago. So I don't know what happened to this thing, y'all. I'm trying to figure out why. Why I can't show y'all the books. Okay, hold on. I'm in your step-by-step book. But I'm trying to show you something in the ICD-10, and the YouTube keeps showing up. So what did I do, y'all? Exit out of the YouTube. Okay. Let me see what's showing up now since I got rid of the YouTube. I don't know why that's showing up. Okay, wait, y'all. Wait a minute. What did it do? Just okay. Screen capture 3. So I gotta go find it again, y'all. Okay, let me go find it again. Screen capture 3. Okay, hold on. CLS. Okay, okay, window. Okay, and we on this, right? Yeah, but I don't know what happened, y'all. It just came right off. I don't know what happened. Maybe I changed something, because I was trying to show y'all. Okay, don't worry about it. We already an hour over. I wanted this to be a little bit longer class. So, because I know y'all at work, and then y'all can go ahead and archive this. Okay, but in this book, that's the step-by-step book. But let me see if it switches, because you remember we're switching. I don't know why it's not switching no more. I have no idea why it's not switching no more. Okay, hold on. It is switching. I don't know what happened. I must have. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Maybe the other one, is no good anymore. Okay, well, whatever. Here in the illustrations, wait, I gotta look at the illustration first, because one time I pulled up something that was a little bit crazy. Is this it, y'all? Okay, so let's take that down for a minute, and then let me find an illustration that y'all can actually look at. All right. Okay. Perfect. Let's put this one up. In that portion that what you guys just saw with his illustrations, these are illustrations. Okay, those illustrations. Why do you need to know the illustrations? Because they may have some of these on your test. They won't have the physical cartoon and all that kind of stuff. They will have wording on your test, and because you do need to know some of the outlines of your hand, dorsal view, cutaneous, and stuff like that. I want you to still not necessarily this one, but whatever chapter that you're on, I want you to make sure that you look at the illustrations. Okay, you see all these different things: your palmar, your median nerve, your radius. I'm talking about right here. Look, your ulnar. They might say, "Where's your ulnar nerve? Is your ulnar nerve higher than your radius nerve or something like that?" Just just be precarious of that. You see how the palmar view is, dorsal view, stuff like that. Those kind of things you want to know. I remember stuff like this that was on my test. They're using the color part to kind of help you out, but I'm not sure if that's helping me in any way. What's helping me is they're telling me the name of it, and I guess the way that it is sitting. So, yeah, I want you to make sure that you pay attention to those, okay? Um, because again, stuff like that might be, stuff like this might be on your test that you need to identify, okay? So, those illustrations, and they tell a story. Look at this one. Look at this one. I only can put it up between 20 seconds or so, but I still want you to look. You see how important that is? I know it feels like you're about to be a doctor, but excuse me, but you'd be surprised how important that is. They talk about the biceps, the branchial tendon, the radial artery. Radial artery is important. I've seen that on one of the exams. Okay, anterior view. Um, if it's easier for you guys to do the hard copy, just do the hard copy. If to me, I like the ebooks because you can just take them anywhere. You can take your ebook anywhere. Um, you can, in I don't want to move that. In the ebook, you can put it on your iPad. You can be on the bus. You can be on a train. You can be in the park. My favorite spot is Cumberland Mall. I love to go there. They got that waterfall out there when I go out there and visit. Um, but I do both. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys that. Um, Now let me get back to here. I just wanted to kind of show you guys that, and we're at. Um, so you guys, again, you guys are gonna be doing chapter 3, but I'm just kind of moving around, okay, and kind of keeping you hanging out in here, okay. So additional diagnosis. Okay, so we're up to additional diagnosis. In the preceding guidelines and exercises, we were concerned primarily with the identification of the first listed diagnosis. In some cases, additional diagnosis would be reported to describe complications, reasons for canceled procedures, and other coexisting conditions. You remember we just read canceled procedure, and you guys are getting ready to look up that, okay? ICD-10 official guidelines for coding and reporting. Now, could you guys go ahead and go to section 4, period B, codes from A TA89 ZOZ99, and you remember we did that yesterday, but I want you guys to go ahead and go there. But for some reason I'm having an issue trying to get there. But let me see why. Let me see what's going on with this. All right, so just hold on a minute. I don't want the alphabetic index. I am. Hold on. Hold on, Kimasabi, because that should be in your part 1, right? Because here you are getting used to your book. Here you are getting used to your book, right? So that should be in your section. So right here, just below the reading, just below here, I know y'all know I don't care. I'm gonna go back to this a million times. Because why, Miss Lambert? Because I need you to make sure that you are par with your guidelines. Okay, I need to make sure you par with your guidelines, and don't be afraid, of your guidelines. I'm trying to fix this thing. That's my nephew. I gotta call my nephew. Okay, so let me fix this. It just does what it want to do. I don't care. I still love this thing. I can't get my thumbnail right. I'm telling you. All right, and I had to do it over real quick. Y'all know I had to get diagnosis. I see why none of y'all ain't have any class today. All right, so I know y'all know Lambert is terrible, but You know, it's different. You know, when you're teaching and you're like you sitting down the whole time. I have a podium to actually stand up at when I'm actually teaching y'all, and I do have a screen that I can put like this on the big screen. But I mean, that's not the gist of it. The gist of it is just to make sure that you guys get what you need. And don't be telling people that I don't want y'all to go to college and get no student loan. I don't want y'all to do a student loan for medical billing. Okay, I want y'all to go to college, get your master's degree, get your bachelor's degree, whatever you think you need. Okay, whatever you think you need to get you where you need to, because you may want to become a director, regional director, or something like that. And don't be afraid to venture out. Don't be afraid. I don't want y'all to be afraid to venture out. Don't be afraid to ask somebody, what do you need to get to that. I'm gonna try to get my sister to do a form for us. Next year yet, but I'm gonna see if I can get her to do a form for us. And we're gonna try to get that together. I want her to kind of talk to y'all in regards to how do you get to the top? How do you, how long it may take, or maybe it's quick. I want her to say, where she started from. My sister started from admissions, and my sister's now assistant vice president, chair, or something like that. So I think she'd be the good, somebody good for y'all to talk to, and y'all can see, how she got there. Even because you may not want to do your own business, you may want to just grow, within your facility. Um, and don't do like me. I move around. I move around a lot. I move around to different facilities to get to know what they actually do in those facilities. But I was just telling one of my girlfriends that I'm done moving. So I will probably be at one facility starting next year. I'm lying. I'm still gonna be moving this year, but next year I'm gonna do traveling. I'm not gonna do too much traveling next year. I'm gonna be steadfast. But I want y'all to think the same way. When you're looking at these books, don't be scared. Just do them. Just do them. Okay. So again, these are the guidelines. I'm gonna do it with y'all. I want y'all to feel comfortable when you're reading these guidelines. So this is where I want y'all today. Still in the guidelines, and here is where we're gonna scroll down. You see where this says section 1? Y'all are just going down to section 4. That's all. Same thing that we did the other day. But as you getting down there, I still want y'all to use your index cards and be precarious about the punctuations, the excludes notes, and all the extra stuff that is in there for you guys. Oh, I forgot. The green you can't see. I don't know why you can't see the green. Wait, hold on. You see the pink, right? Okay, this is one of my pink ones here. That's a card. Mile. I'm telling y'all what I got on these cards. Mile, MYEL, spinal cord. That's like a suffix to spinal cord, right? Myelitis, okay? Myelitis. It's MYEL itis. Inflammation of the spinal cord. You see how that word just went together? How can I put this up here? I know I am exploring this thing. I'm gonna figure out. Well, I know how to write up there, but I gotta ask Laz how to do it. I'm telling you, he didn't even get back to you. It did take him about a month to get back to me. But I like this. Encephalitis, swelling, the inflammation of the brain. You guys will already know that. But that's what the index cards will be for. Okay? The index cards will be for that, so you can study. That's the purpose of the index cards, so you can study. I guess these green ones won't show up because of the thing that I have there. I don't even have a green screen here. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. You're supposed to be able to pull up the green screen, but I couldn't find it, so I just left it blank. That's why y'all see pieces of my head coming out. 60,000 series nervous system. I want you guys to know every single nervous system in the book. Meninges cover the brain and spinal cord. CSF, cerebral fluid, bathed and cushions the spinal cord. Endocrine, metabolic diseases. You should have this many index cards. I don't care how much you have to read them over and over and over and over. Okay? Because see, once you go to that section, right, it'll give you that brief description. You remember we were talking about the other day. Then when you go to section 2, it's going to give you principal diagnosis, brief descriptions. Section 3, Section 4, brief descriptions. The Section 4, A, selection first listed condition and outpatient. You remember we were looking for that is here. When you scroll further down, that's where it's going to give you that broader definition. It's going to give you that broader definition. Okay? It's primarily your guidelines. I'm just going to show you this real quick. Same way we was the other day, that I just wanted you to see. See right there? I know you can't see it, but I just wanted to give you that. If you got bucks like me, then it's on page 4. Okay? I know, because bucks is not it's not like the other ones. It doesn't have the coil. It doesn't have the coil. It doesn't have the coil on it. And we're going to do this tonight. So those of you who are in YTU, just go over it. Okay, and the guidelines are pretty big, but all you have to do is just break them up. And what I would do is I would have my book. I would have my book right here, just so can you guys see the book? I keep my notes in it, and yeah, I use these for like regular books, so I can keep up with what I'm doing. But always have like a notebook with you, so you can kind of write down stuff. Even if you're in a classroom with me, just so you can write down what you need. Okay. So let's move over. So again, we just want to make sure that we're good with the surgical diagnosis. Okay. Outpatient surgeries. If you guys can get your hands on, because I don't know if I can pull up. So I have an app for the codes, the CPT and diagnosis codes, but I don't know. That's going to be a copyright for sure. I know I can't put that up. I don't know. You guys go on and see if they got like a demo for Optum 360. Check Optum 360. Check United Healthcare. I used to have a whole list of them. I don't think ECW actually has one, but I'm gonna check tonight. And then we'll put that on for your next class. Okay. I'm looking for the coding. Like when we use in the hospital, but we can't use it here. I mean, I gotta find one that I can show y'all. I don't know. I'll find one. But again, it's just to kind of get you used to what we're doing in the classroom and get you used to, what the coding is. Okay. So right now, I know everybody's texting me. I'll find out what they want. All right. So and it's all about the guidelines, additional diagnosis. All about the guidelines. In the procedure and guidelines and exercises, we are concerned primarily with identification of first listed diagnosis. In some cases, additional diagnosis would be reported to describe complications, reasons for canceled procedures, and other coexisting conditions. Right, because if you plan a procedure and then they found out something is wrong with the patient, it might conflict with the procedure because it might, might bother them or something, or it might affect another part of the body. Like if you're going in and have a gastric bypass and all of a sudden, man, she needs a hysterectomy, you know what I'm saying? Or if we do the bypass, she might end up with nothing. I can't be too specific because we're still, we're on YouTube. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. Okay, the guidelines state that it is acceptable to use any of the codes throughout the entire tabular list to identify the reasons for an outpatient visit. So if they say that if you have a cutoff or is there something that you can't use, no, because they're telling you right here you can use any one of those codes. As far as why you didn't have the visit, for an outpatient visit, just make sure you use the Z codes. That's all. Okay, you remember what the Z codes are. All right. You're gonna see a lot of those throughout that section. Well, geez, that's all she gives you right here. Let me see what else she has in here. I don't see anything as far as HSC code. All right, so it looks like encounters for circumstance other than disease and injury. Okay, no. Let's stick right here because this is what I was looking for. So hopefully you guys are right here where it says Z codes, and it looks like it's going to give us a good explanation there. Even though they're in your guidelines, but I wanted to find something in the area where we were already reading. Okay, there are 22 chapters in volume 1. Chapter list of the ICD-10. Each chapter represents a different organ system. This is amazing. I want y'all to read this 50 times. Okay? Different organ, system, or type of disease. I'm going to read this portion again. There are 22. Y'all hear me say this all the time. We ain't copyrighting nothing. There are 22 chapters in volume 1. We saw the 22 chapters in volume 1. The chapters are the systems. Okay, there are 22 chapters in volume 1. Tabular list of the ICD-10. You remember we clicked on that and we seen the chapters and they're all the way down to 22, right? The tabular list of the ICD-10. Each chapter represents a different organ, system, or type of systems. That's why you have to make sure you read the language of medicine, the medical terminology book, because they go hand in hand. It helps you to start learning about these different systems. So in the language of medicine book, you're reading about the different systems. Now you are demonstrating with these systems. You will review each of the chapters. But first, there are some special codes that you need to know about Z codes, okay, located in chapter 21 of the ICD-10. We're going there, but I want you guys to finish reading what's here. Okay, so I'm just going to read this one sentence, and then you're going to read the rest. When abstracting information from the medical record as the basis for code assignment, the intent is to communicate the story of the patient. Communicate the story of the patient's encounter. Okay, but I want you guys to stop right here for a minute, because we're gonna go to the Z codes. But I'm just trying to see what else is up here. How did they skip this and went straight to there? Okay. So from the section B, section 4B. Okay, when we were coding the appropriate code that also involved the Z codes, that's how I got down there. I wanted y'all to see what the Z codes meant. It didn't give you explicit of what the Z code is, but I want you to still go to the guidelines to see about the Z codes. Okay, they're in 21. I'm gonna take y'all there, but I still want y'all to do the coding and the reporting for accurate reporting. For accurate reporting, ICD-10-CM diagnosis code. The documentation should be describing the patient condition. Of course it is. It's in the record. Okay, and using terminology which includes specific diagnosis as well as symptoms, problem, reason for the visit, and encounter. They're saying that because they're giving you a description of what the record should have. They're giving you a description of what the record should have in it. So a record is just like a report that you are giving on somebody. Everything that you need to know about this patient should be in there. I mean, like that the provider needs to know should be in there. The medical records of the patient and whatever he needs to observe this patient, what he needs to come to a definitive diagnosis, or whatever he needs to decide whether he's going to do surgery with this patient, needs to be in that report. It needs to be in the report. There are times when the doctor has not been explicit enough where you can actually code it. And this is where you're going to report to the nurse. So the nurse or whoever his right hand is going to find out what you need in regards to that. Because you already have the notes as far as the coding. You already have the notes. Okay? The nurse is the one who's going to go into those records and find what you need. Okay? So, and again, don't be afraid to talk to the nurse about what you need. Don't be afraid to query the provider about what you need, okay? According to the guidelines D, make sure you guys look at those guidelines. Chapter 18 of ICD-10 codes, there are codes for most symptoms and signs, but there are other codes such as throughout the ICD-10. Of course there is. Each code should have a definition. When you go in your index to diseases, This is the reason why they always say don't code from just your index to diseases. You need to go to the back so you can clarify your code. Um, and it says it is acceptable for symptoms and signs to be reported if there's no definitive diagnosis. Remember, we went through that as well. And again, that is also in your guidelines. Okay, that's also in your guidelines. Okay, and see, they're mentioning not elsewhere classifiable and XYZ. They're mentioning all these different things in presumption that we've already went over them, which we did. But I want you to make sure that you go constantly go over them so that you can remember. Okay. They give you the information about the Z code. You guys are gonna go read those Z code guidelines. Where the guidelines in the beginning, right? Yep. And then they just kind of give you an example. So here is where I want you to look up this code. Even though they got them there, I know they got them there already, but I still want you to look those codes up. Because the more you look up the codes, the more comfortable you will be in the codes. Okay, let me see what else is here. And these are basically patient encounters. These are patient encounters. So as in the patient's first visit to the doctor's office. Okay, patient's first visit to the doctor's office. And this is, oh, this is definitely what I want to show you right here. I'm on page 51, and we're talking about the Z codes. So before you even get to this portion right here, I want to hit the tabular list. Go to your ICD-10 book. Go to your tabular list. Go down to your Z codes. Alright. I mean, if you got an ebook, just click. If you don't, then, if you don't have an ebook, that's fine. Just turn to the page. Okay, it's almost 1:30. Wait, what time is it now? It's almost 12 o'clock. All right, see, I'm past my time. I was supposed to have did up to 1:30, but I still want you to see this, okay? So this is your 21 that I want you to read. So tonight, read these guidelines. All right, I want you to read these guidelines. Before we finish on that chapter, I want you to go ahead and read your guidelines. So I'm going to go back to the book because this is where it starts getting into the Z codes. Don't do the reference. Don't do the reference unless you're finished. I'm not moving to section 1C21, status code, so we're not going to go there. We're sticking to the Z codes. We're sticking to the Z codes because, and it's telling you where they are. Section 1, period C, period 21. Factors influencing health status and contact with health services. Remember, I just took you there. Highlight it in your book, or highlight it in your book, or use the stickies. Okay. But this is where we're stopping. We're stopping on page 52. We're stopping on page 50. Don't go to status codes. Stay where you see the Z codes. Okay, that's what you're practicing today. Okay, section 1, period C, period 21, factors of influencing status and contact health services, ZOO to Z99. This is where you should be. Let me get that out of here. I don't know why that says that. Yeah. So this is where you should be right here. Okay. So next time I should see you should be Friday, unless I see something that I want to just do before Friday. But this is where you're going to be. You're going to be doing that. Okay. You don't need to move on from there. We're going to do that on Friday. And your workbook, you're going to be doing. You can go ahead and do your workbook. You don't have to do all of it. Just do up until where we're at because we're not finished with this chapter. And most of this workbook is going to have you just looking for ICD-10 codes. So if you're at the point where it's just looking for ICD-10 codes, yes, I want you to just look for those codes. Okay, so this is open and close, true and false. Your first section will have what they want you to do with the guidelines. And then your next section will have true and false. Same thing, guidelines for outpatient. Okay, all of it is about outpatient. Okay, now I want you to find codes in regards to outpatients. Okay, you're going to stop um, on page 52 where it says quick check reference. Okay, you can stop right there. Do not move on to status codes. Status codes we're going to do Friday. We're going to do Friday. Okay, and if any of you guys want to come into the Sapphire Academy class, just let me know. We'll get you registered and get you in there. Just make sure you go to the website, and then when you go to the website, click on that tab, and it will take you to the bookstore, and you can go ahead and download those courses from there. Okay, let me do this right, and I promise you, next time we make that thumbnail, it's gonna be slow. Diagnosis is gonna be spelled right. I know. Y'all know I ain't even think about how to spell it right. Okay. Um, all right. So this class is over. I will see you guys next time. Please make sure that you look at all of the other classes. I'm going to put this also on the Sapphire Academy, and we will see you then. Okay. Hopefully this is good because I see it across the board. I see this across the board, so I'm hoping that it's good. Okay, bye bye. Oh, what's that? Okay, yeah. Okay, hold on, y'all. I'm not sure what that is. Cause it never did that before. Usually, if I disconnect, I just disconnect. So I don't know.